So this is how you put together your mini documentary, your story. Part one, you always want to create your past and your path and include it as part of that video. Ideally, you can even use the framework of 10 picture story that we went over in the beginning of this video. You can, either pause it and go back or finish watching this video and then go back for that specific piece and see how I've done it, right? The key pieces of it is this: 10 pivotal moments, 9 of them being in the sequential order, and the 10th one is really usually your um, pivotal moment that's the key that really brought you to the core message or to the things that you do and why you do them, right? It's kind of also showing them the biggest, not aha moment, but the biggest pain in your life. It shows them that you're real and that you're relatable, right? It's the tall poppy syndrome, right? I have my friend Joanne here from all the way Australia, and they have this term, right? If you don't knock yourself down, they will make sure to knock you down, because if you're trying to, remember, fake it till you make it, they will find your untruths in your story. So that's why I say it's so important to act like you belong. Share your story. Be transparent about where you're at and what you can help the person do. See, for the longest time, the industry itself always strived on having that superstar identity that's miles further away than you are. Like, for example, either Gary Vee or Tony Robbins, right? They're amazing people, they have amazing businesses. But the truth is, from what I see more and more with my consulting clients, their clients relate more to them because they're just a step or two ahead of them than even with Gary Vee or Tony Robbins, because they cannot bridge that gap that's that far, right? They can't jump 10 steps. They might be able to take one step, maybe two steps, maybe three steps. And if you're just 2 to 3 steps ahead and you continue moving, they will always be part of your inner circle, right? Because they will be growing with you while you're growing and learning from others, like your mentors, your coaches. So it's very important to, number one, include your past and your path, because that gives you that unfair advantage because nobody else has the same. So reveal your past and how you got to your aha moment. Part number two, you have to get clear on who do you serve and what do you do? What result do you create? For the moment, to quote my mentor Joe Bauer one more time, if you really think about all the results that you can deliver for anybody, they really boil down to three key results. Either a financial difference that the person will create as a result of your interaction or your coaching or your service or your product. B, they will have a physical result, like in whether they lose weight or gain muscle or whatever that physical change is. And last but not least, they will have an emotional change or an emotional shift. If you don't have anything more specific, just pick one of those. Pick the person that's closest to your heart that you would like to serve. Like for me, it's kids, but kids that are completing high school and about to go to college. Because to me, that was one of my biggest pivotal moments, because I knew how to work hard. I just didn't have the right mentors in my life at that time that could basically take me by the hand and guide me. So that's one of my moments and the people that I love to serve. Just like next, it was small business owners, because I was a small business owner for a long time and didn't always have the resources to invest into growing my business that were required at higher levels. And I always wanted to be the person that not only looked forward in the things that I was achieving, but was able to look back and make sure that I give a hand up to those that may be struggling behind me. So to me, I think that's the next part of your mini documentary is you got to be clear on who do you serve and what do you deliver? What is that result that you're willing to guarantee? Because Joel and multiple mentors of mine talk about the fact that if you're not willing to guarantee a result, you have no business offering it. That's just my personal belief and the ethics that I choose to keep for me, my business, and my clients. You can choose for yourself what's the best way for you, but I invite you to consider always being on the side of ethics and really overcoming and delivering that first, being the person who serves and delivers results. And if they don't get the results, even if it's their fault, just giving them money back, because it's not worth to suffer the it's not worth the reputational damage that it can do if somebody's not happy with your service, even if it is because they didn't do the things that they needed to. Because at the end of the day, if you are in true servant leadership, if you're the leader who's delivering this message, this coaching, this teaching, you are the greatest responsible person. Meaning, if they don't get the result, there was something that you could have done potentially to make a difference. And therefore, I choose to share them and give them their money back in order to help them to really move forward and not have a bad experience with you, your brand, or your reputation. Last but not least, the third piece of the mini documentary is you need to share the future vision with them and your path to that future, right? Create a movement, allow them to see here's where I'm at, be transparent, here's where I'm going, and invite them to go on the journey with you. As that's what I always say to my clients. Don't create a business, create a movement and allow your business to support that movement. Doing it that way, you will have unlimited clients, as many as you would like to, and probably more than you can handle, as long as you really add value to people, include them in your mission and vision, and support them through their growth and through their path. That will be that piece that will separate you from the rest and be your mini documentary to share with them who you are in a very short period of time and to create the greatest know, like, and trust. Usually, when people ask me, how long should a mini documentary be? I say, if you can, I'm actually going to use the line that a dear friend and a school teacher of mine shared with me years ago when I was taking English, I think 10. Or in my 10th grade, I was taking English class, and she was one of my favorite teachers. She taught me how to write the best essay. And she said it in these words: the best essay is like a mini skirt. It's short enough to keep attention, and it's long enough to cover everything that it needs to. So think of your mini documentary like a mini skirt. It needs to cover everything that we've talked about, like your past and your path. Who do you serve and how do you serve them? What do you deliver? And what does your future and your vision and mission look like? And then make sure to keep it short. Don't bore them to death. So to me, a rule of thumb, your mini documentary should be anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes. I think anything over 10 minutes, you need to start asking yourself a question. So what, right? There's a small piece that comes on. So what? Is it important to me to have it, or is it important for the client to see because they're going to see something specific that they need to see to create know, like, and trust? And I think if you're able to boil it down to 3 to 5 minutes, that will be your sweet spot. Because most people, if they go through the 60-second pitch, they will be open to doing a small video, which is 3 to 5 minutes. And then if they are your ideal client, they will go into that ethical bribe, right? Which can be your book or a special private training like this, which is recorded one time and you can share it many times to create know, like, and trust, right? And if it's broken into a mini course, they can even have an easier time to going through it. Like they don't have to go through an hour or two of training. They can actually go through all the chapters at their willingness and readiness, because they're like, okay, well, I know about 60-second pitch, but I really need to dial in my mini documentary. And that's when they would get the greatest value out of it. And then you can answer questions and then create an invitation if they need more support. If that's